After Serena discovered the leather whip in Grant's briefcase, she swallowed her shock and disgust and quietly swapped it for the barbed version. The next day, the lacerated Grant was driven to Riverdale by his mistress. Grant had left for work in such a hurry that he'd left his briefcase at home. Serena picked it up and was about to chase after him when she heard a metallic clink from inside. She froze, puzzled. In 5 years of marriage, his briefcase had held nothing but folders, a notebook, and a wallet, never even an extra tissue. What unfamiliar object could make that sound? After a few seconds of hesitation, Serena ignored Grant's standing order and unzipped the bag. A black leather whip lay coiled inside. Etched into the silver handle was a small logo. Just as Serena leaned in for a better look, the front door rattled. Reflexively she zipped the bag shut. Grant burst back in, spotted the briefcase in her hands, and snatched it away. "Sterling confidential documents, how many times have I told you not to touch it?" "Relax," she said, feigning calm. "I'd just picked it up to run after you." He exhaled, scowling. "Don't let it happen again." Once he was gone, Serena typed what she remembered of the logo into Amazon. The search pulled up an adult toy store. The identical whip gleamed on her screen, stamped with the words BDSM certified, and the phrase stabbed her eyes. Serena knew she had no taste for that game, and Grant had never asked to play. So who, exactly, was the whip meant for? Brooding, she waited until Grant came home at 11. Finding her in the living room didn't move him, instead he looked annoyed. "I told you I'm slammed at Sterling. Go to bed." Serena stepped in and hugged him gently. "You've been leaving at dawn and coming home at midnight. How busy can Sterling be?" He muttered, "Big new project." She draped her arms over his neck, half teasing. "Work's important, but so are we. When did we last have sex?" The moment she touched him, his body locked. Then he yanked her arms away. "I'm exhausted. Not in the mood." His coldness felt like lead sinking through her chest. And as she'd neared him she'd seen faint red blotches on his neck, hickeys, and smelled perfume she never wore. Was Grant cheating? Her mind reeled. She itched to grab his phone, but even in the shower he took it with him, guarding it like state secrets. Pressed against the locked bathroom door, Serena could just make out his voice beneath the water, chatting with someone. She couldn't catch the words, but she got the message. The bathroom was his safe zone. Perfect. She opened a delivery app and ordered a micro camera for same-day drop-off. Late that night Grant, believing Serena asleep, carried his phone into the bathroom. The click of the lock had hardly faded before Serena slipped on earbuds and opened the live feed. "Master, I'm so itchy. Please whip me hard." The first frame almost made her retch. There was Grant, naked, writhing, squeaking in falsetto. The world darkened at the edges. Serena couldn't believe this grotesque show came from her stone-faced husband. "Dirty mutt." The woman on the screen laughed, voice vaguely familiar. "If you crave pain, why not ask Piggy out there to flog you?" Grant sneered. 120 and built like a sow, she'd snap my spine riding me. The sight of her kills my appetite. When she touches me I want to scrub my skin off. If only it were you in my bed, he sighed, then brightened. "Tell you what, I'll ship her back to mommy's this weekend, you come over." The idea thrilled him. He pressed on, voice quickening. "We'll screw right under our wedding portrait, way hotter than a hotel room. This place is better soundproofed than Riverside, think of the stunts we could try." She cooed, "You've got me wet. But you'd better park her far away, no surprises." Grant pounded his chest. "Easy. She's been begging to visit her parents, I just withhold cash. Tomorrow I'll toss her $1,000 and she'll bolt with the kid. Each W." Ord was a scalpel to Serena's heart. Still carrying baby weight, and he called her a pig? Pinching pennies while he bankrolled his games? She shook with rage. They babbled on about props, whip, wax, cuffs, like perverted kids in a candy store. "I want the sting, master, don't hold back," Grant begged. Serena exited the feed long enough to open Amazon and search barbed whip. The spike stayed hidden until the lash unfurled, perfect imitation of his toy. She paid expedited shipping on the whip, plus restraints, drip candles, and a pair of handcuffs. If they wanted fireworks, she'd give them a pyre. At breakfast Serena struck first. "I'd like to take the baby to my parents this weekend." A lightning flash of joy crossed Grant's face, instantly masked. Out of the blue. She played demure. "If you'd rather I stay." No, he backpedaled. "You haven't visited them in a year. A girl should see her grandparents." Serena extended her palm. "I'm tapped out this month. I need gas, tickets, groceries for them." Faster than she'd ever seen, he wired $2,000. "Round-trip tickets alone run $1,200, plus gifts. 2 won't cut it," she said. He grumbled. Sterling's payroll is huge. Can't you economize? She let her shoulders sag. Forget it. Keep the money, I'll stay. He grabbed her phone. 5 should cover it, and sent another 3. And a red envelope for my parents, she added softly. Jaw clenched, he added 5 more. That's it. Sterling's revenue hasn't hit the account yet, he warned. 10 grand, enough for her and the baby for months. Serena booked Friday night train tickets in front of him and packed a suitcase. Grant near beamed, the weekend clearly shone in his mind already free. Happy to see us leave, she teased. He kissed her forehead. Of course not. I'll miss you like crazy. He wiped the grin off his face at once. Serena could never bear to part with you, but thinking you'll get to reunite with your parents, Serena's thrilled for you. I've been neglect. All in the past, Serena swears you'll be visiting them way more often. Huh. Serena sneered in her head. He was still daydreaming about turning the house into his private love nest with that woman. Little did he know that after one unforgettable tryst he might never want to touch her again. Friday afternoon arrived in a blink. After collecting their daughter from preschool, Grant volunteered to drive Serena and the little girl to the train station. Serena knew he wasn't worried about the trip, he simply needed to watch Serena actually leave. So far Serena had shown zero tells, even feigning giddy excitement about the family reunion for days on end. Enough to keep him from suspecting a thing. To stay on Serena's good side, and keep Serena from changing plans, he'd been unbelievably agreeable, coming home straight after work. Which made it easy to swap his toys and be sure nobody discovered the tampering early. The moment Serena slammed the car door, Grant floored the gas and sped off. The eagerness on his face was almost comical. But he had no clue Serena had installed 4 hidden cameras around the house. Serena was dying to see just how depraved the respectable man could be. Serena refunded the train tickets, hailed a cab with the kid, and checked into a room at the riverside 2 blocks away. Once the little girl was settled, Serena slipped on headphones and opened the security app. Nothing happened on the living room feed until after 9. Then Grant ambled in, arms wrapped around a curvy Vivian. You picked an amazing restaurant, master, so classy. Not like Serena's dowdy housewife, who drags us to KFC every time we go out. Obviously they'd just returned from a date. Grant badmouthed Serena with gusto in front of his mistress. He probably forgot Serena only caves and takes their daughter to KFC when she begs for fried chicken. The rest of the time Serena cooks from scratch, with the pittance he calls a household budget. How lavish should Serena's taste be? Sound. Like your wife's the practical type, Vivian said, voice syrupy with sarcasm. She kept her back to the lens. Serena still hadn't seen her face. Grant curled his lip. A woman like that's born to be the help. A man wants a sexbot like you in his arms. They started making out, groping as they staggered toward the master bedroom, garments flung everywhere. Serena switched to the bedroom feed. The instant they collapsed onto the bed, Serena got a clear view of the woman's face. It was her. Serena recognized her. She was Caldwell's wife, Caldwell, Sterling's biggest client. Serena had spotted them together at a corporate gala. Caldwell had to be pushing 60, clearly he couldn't keep her happy anymore, so she prowled for fun on the side. And Serena knew exactly where to find Caldwell Sterling's office. A plan snapped together in Serena's mind in seconds. Battling the adrenaline, Serena kept watching. Once they caught their breath, Grant jumped up to fetch his goodie bag. Serena's pulse hammered. If he noticed the switch, the revenge would fall flat. But a man thinking with the little head isn't big on logic. He trotted back, clueless, euphoria plastered across his face. He handed Vivian the leather whip. Come on, mistress. Lash Serena, torture Serena. Serena's body is starving for it. The woman had changed into a crimson satin slip. She licked her lips. Filthy mutt, coming right up their toy supply was impressive. She pulled out a mouth gag shaped like a ball on a strap, shoved the sphere between his teeth, and buckled it behind his head. Next she snapped the handcuffs around his wrists and chained them to the headboard. Grant gave 2 muffled grunts and tilted his chin toward the ceiling light. She chuckled. I know, darkness makes it hotter. She killed the overhead. Serena exhaled in relief. Grant's habit of insisting on pitch black hadn't changed. With the room now inky, the camera's night vision kicked in, the image razor sharp. He lay beneath her, she straddled snapped the whip in the air, then cracked it across his chest. Grant spasmed violently. That whip's original barbs had been dull. Serena had spent hours with a whetstone sharpening every spike. Now they snagged his skin, scoring dozens of hair-thin lines of blood. Nasty dog, the more it hurts, the harder you get. Delighted by his thrashing, She rained another flurry down, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. His shriek came out strangled, the gag swallowed every note. In minutes dozens of crimson trails crisscrossed his torso. She couldn't see the damage and flicked the lash across his cheek, splitting the skin. Rolling him over, she worked on his back until she tired. Beating you at home is so much better, you perform way above specs tonight. No kidding. On screen, Grant's upper body looked like raw meat. The barbs were short, none of the cuts were deep, but after that density of lacerations he was basically one giant carpet burn, the bedsheet stippled with pinpricks of blood. She set the whip aside, groped for the next toy, drip candles. The originals were low-temp paraffin, harmless kinkshop stock. Serena had swapped them days earlier. The candle now in her hand was special order, its melting point high, every drop would feel like a spark of fire. Still in the dark, she flicked a lighter and touched flame to wick. The weak yellow glow didn't clue her into the difference, she was too high on domination. She mounted him again, holding the candle above his head. Let's start with this handsome face, feel the warmth of Serena's love. She tilted her wrist, a molten bead crashed onto his cheek. His muted howl warped into something inhuman. Burning raw, slashed skin? Even Serena winced. Ugh, that squeal was pathetic. Again, she scolded. She released 3 more drops. Burn pain reportedly beats any other, and Grant thrashed like a landed fish. She still wasn't satisfied. She hovered the flame over his chest and poured again. By then he'd shredded the ball gag with his teeth. Stop, god damn it. Are you deaf? Quit it. Serena smirked. Funny how master and baby had vanished from his vocabulary. Only then did Vivian sense trouble. She froze, leaned closer in the candlelight, touched his blistered skin. Holy, why is it so hot? Panicking, she flicked the lights on. What greeted her eyes left her gaping in horror. Grant's whole upper body was crimson, fat beads of blood still bubbling up. The skin on his face had fared even worse, raw, blistered, probably giving off a sickly scorched smell if you got close enough. Ah, the woman shrieked as if she'd seen a ghost, tumbling off the bed in a tangle of limbs. Idiot! Get over here and unlock Serena's handcuffs. Grant rasped, his throat half ruined. She shivered, instinctively obeying. But Serena had hidden the handcuff key. Serena hadn't even known what the key in the briefcase was for, she'd just wanted to mess with him. Near tears, the woman whimpered, "Where's the key?" Serena can't find it. Then grab a towel and staunch the bleeding. Grant no longer had the strength to roar. Aha! She spun in frantic circles. A clean towel lay folded on the nightstand, Serena's thoughtful prep work. She snatched it, pressed it to Grant's whip-striped chest. Ah! Easy, damn it. That kills, he held. He thought the fresh stab of pain came from her heavy hand. In fact, Serena had soaked the towel in brine and dried it stiff. Every fiber was dusted with salt crystals. Now that salt met open wounds, exquisite agony. Call 911, Serena can't take this. Tears streamed down Grant's cheeks. We can't, she sobbed. What do we tell the doctors? If this leaks, Serena's finished. Grant glared. If you don't get Serena to Riverdale, Serena is finished. Still, she refused to dial. Instead she took Grant's phone, pressed his thumb to the sensor, fired off a message, threw on her clothes, and packed up. Tough it out. They're only surface cuts, a little blood, you won't die. Serena already texted your wife, Grant's had an accident, come home fast. Tomorrow she can drive you to Riverdale and claim the 2 of you were playing kinky games. Keep it in the family and she'll cover for you. Best solution. She bolted without a backward glance, no matter how he bellowed. Sure enough, Serena's phone pinged with the message. Keep it in the family? Huh. Serena hadn't done the dirty, why should Serena care? Serena would broadcast it, loud and proud. So Serena rang Grant's cell over and over. Both his hands were cuffed, every twitch brought a grimace, but she let it ring to show frantic concern. Next she called the mom next door, Jess, her stroller buddy in Maplewood. Emergency. Grant texted he's hurt and won't pick up. I'm out of town, can't get back until tomorrow. Could you and your Grant check on him? Door codes 168168. I'll owe you big time. Jess agreed in a heartbeat. On the nanny cam Serena watched them enter, follow the groans to the master bedroom. The sight, Grant shredded, candles, leather whip, toys, froze them. Home invasion, they almost dialed 911. Then they saw the props and exchanged a knowing grimace. Pinching their noses, they called 120 instead. Mortified, Grant twisted his head into the pillow, but Jess was Maplewood's loudest loudspeaker. She whipped out her phone and hammered out a message. Every phone in the mommy group buzzed with it all. Ladies, meet downstairs. Fresh gossip incoming. Remembering Serena was in the chat, she deleted it and switched to private blasts. Serena didn't mind. Divorce was inevitable, the shame was Grant's, not hers. She'd staged the rescue only to keep his injuries from drawing cops. If they dug, they might trace the salt trick back to her. Paramedics wheeled Grant out in cuffs. The clip circulated through every Maplewood resident chat. Jess rushed to defend Serena. FYI, the SM was with his side piece, not his wife, she's at her mom's. Someone posted a grainy shot, snapped this at the gate, same woman? Nice figure, half the woman's face was hidden by curls, but her body type was nothing like Serena's, clear alibi secured. When Serena rolled back into town the next day, sympathy poured from every direction. She dropped her suitcase and headed straight to Riverdale. Grant was mummy-wrapped, only eyes and lips showing, he couldn't meet her gaze. I've been set up, this isn't what they're saying, he croaked. Serena didn't argue, she simply clasped his bandaged hand. I believe you. We're partners, for better or worse, remember? Grant teared up. You're the best. Home is covered, our daughter and I are your rock. But what about Sterling? Serena bit her lip. You'll be laid up for rounds of debridement, and the board can't wait. Then there's your face, scarring's inevitable. Staff will talk the moment you walk in. Grant pressed a palm to the gauze, shame and panic flickering. So I hide forever? I've got to earn, how else do I take care of you too? I could support us. Let me steer Sterling? He scoffed before thinking. You? A stay-at-home mom who's been out of the loop, what can you do? I'll relearn. Teach me. Suspicion crept into his eyes. I'll work remotely. I don't need you. Serena smiled inwardly. After all these years he still kept her at arm's length. Serena had bankrolled Sterling with her own savings. Every grocery run was still a plea to him for cash. Many early contracts had come through Serena's contacts. Once Sterling stabilized, he'd nudged her out, babies, he cooed, and the purse strings in her hands. She'd bought the fantasy. The purse strings were yanked back the minute the baby arrived. No babysitting help meant no career, until now. Daughter in preschool, scandal in full swing, time to reclaim the throne. If Grant wouldn't step aside, there was still Cole, the venture investor. When Sterling wobbled and Serena rode to the rescue, Cole would hand her the reins. Serena marched into Caldwell's office with the surveillance footage. He watched, erupted, smashed the crystal ashtray against the wall. LL, that bitch dared to cross me. Send the clip to Serena, someone had ordered. Serena wants her out with nothing, not a single cent. Serena gave a calm nod. Fine. But Serena has the same goal, and she needs Caldwell's help. The deal between the two victims was struck in seconds. At Sterling's launch event for its new product line, nearly every business partner showed up. Grant couldn't appear, so the VP took the mic. But somehow the massive screen that was supposed to run the product reel cut to shaky phone footage. Grant, stark naked, being carried from his house on a stretcher. Bold captions scrolled across so no one could miss the point. His face was bruised but not yet swollen, still recognizable, and coworkers who saw him every day knew instantly who it was. The conference room exploded. Until then the clip had only circulated inside Maplewood, a few days of gossip that quickly died. Outsiders had never seen it. Now the on-site shockwave was atomic. Jaws dropped at the sight of the usually grim, buttoned-up Grant in such a state. The VP panicked and yelled for tech to kill the projector. Too late. Caldwell rose first. Sterling's CEO behaves like this? Serena's group wants no part of it. Next phase deal is dead. Goodbye. With Caldwell, the industry titan, walking out, smaller partners followed in droves. The VP spluttered, this is personal, don't punish Sterling. Nobody listened. Orders evaporated. Sterling's cash on hand couldn't cover the penalties, let alone turn a profit. While Cole tore his hair out, Serena paid him a visit. While Serena was away from Riverdale, the same woman had slipped back to Grant. What do I do? The old man just filed for divorce, froze every card and threw Serena out. I'm broke and homeless. Can you spare some cash? Grant's face darkened the moment he saw her. We're far from settled. Look what you did to Serena's face, you disfigured me. She shrank but shot back, we both wanted it. You begged Serena to hit you, the pain Faye. Else good, remember? And the toys were yours. If something went wrong, don't dump it on Serena. He snorted. Whatever. We're done. Stay away, and don't talk to Serena about money. Serena should be billing you for damages. Her expression flipped. Pulled feet, huh? When you needed Serena to whisper to old Caldwell so you could land that contract, you sang a different tune. That was then. From now on we're strangers. Grant tossed her aside like a used ladder. Fine. Have it your way. She flicked her phone open and shoved an album at him. Serena's no pushover. Use Serena and ditch Serena? Serena'll flood your wife with every intimate shot we took. Grant only smirked. Go ahead. Serena's wife depends on Serena for rent and groceries. Even if she finds out, she won't dare breathe. Really? Serena pushed the door wide, she had heard every word. Honey. Grant, bandages just off, flinched. The woman sprang up and thrust the screen at Serena. Look how your precious Grant parties behind your back. It'll blow your mind. Why stay married to garbage like this? Divorce him. Already on it. Serena slapped the divorce papers across Grant's face. He gaped. You don't have $1 for groceries. Where do you get the guts to divorce Serena? Serena stayed cool. Not your problem. Sign. He softened his voice. Baby, don't be rash. Sure, Serena slipped, like any man does, but it was for Sterling. Serena sacrificed Serena's body to keep clients happy, also you and the kid could live better. He actually painted himself as noble. Before Serena could answer, the woman lost it. Scumbag. A dog has more honor. She grabbed Serena's hand. Sis, if he won't sign, sue and make him walk away with Zip. Serena'll testify. Hell, Serena'll self-destruct if it sinks this jerk. I've got photos, videos, whatever evidence you need. Serena definitely needed them. Her own security cam clips had been shot without consent and might be thrown out. When the two women looked ready to team up, Grant panicked. Honey, she's the tramp who seduced your husband, don't listen. Obviously he knew his maimed face and ruined rep would make remarriage impossible, so he clung to Serena. Serena's young, driven, and owns Sterling. Walk away and you'll never find a catch like Serena again. Serena laughed. Didn't glance in the toilet mirror? Face wrecked, crotch rotting, name dragged through the mud, where's your ego? Oh, right, Sterling belongs to Serena now. She let the blade drop. What? He almost jumped out of his skin. Thanks to the giant debts his blunders created, Cole had hauled him into court for unlimited personal liability. His share in Sterling would be auctioned to pay creditors, and Cole had already persuaded a judge to freeze his assets. Aside from the house and a car, he was the one left penniless. The summons had arrived days ago, Serena simply hadn't told him. No, he held, unable to accept it. All of this happened before Serena rejoined Sterling. 2 days ago she walked back in, restored Caldwell's contract in a single afternoon, and steered the tottering company onto safe ground, making herself the new CEO. Clients who had bailed wrote their losses off as Grant's fault. Once he learned he owned nothing, Grant refused to sign the divorce. Serena didn't fuss, her lawyers had been prepping a lawsuit all along. The settlement gave her house, car, and custody. No man would sign that willingly. Her attorney, moved by her story, built a rock-solid file, chat logs replaying Grant's ambulance ride, proof his antics had trashed Sterling's reputation and smeared hers, plus reams of evidence that he was the cheating party. The judge awarded Serena the house, the car, and full custody, and split the remaining marital property. Serena waived her half. It was frozen and heading for seizure anyway, so walking away also meant walking away from future debt. After the decree, her ex found himself homeless and unemployable, his disfigured face shut every door. He showed you. He daily, whining for a remarriage. Serena never argued, she simply sold the big house and downsized to a modest 2-bedroom. Maplewood gossip could reach the child's ears, a fresh start was safer. At last the ex vanished from their lives, and Serena never asked where he went. Raising a kid alone would be rough, but she wasn't afraid. With a career under her feet and a daughter ahead of her, Serena would carve out her own sky. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and share it with your friends. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share your perspectives, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.